All right, welcome back to Power Hour, the man in the middle, back by popular demand, Mr. Austin Silver. Austin, welcome to Power Hour, man. How you doing?
It's going well, guys. It's good to see you both. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me again.
You got it. You got it. So, well, I guess without further ado, have you taken any trades today? If so, tell us about them. Let's get right into this. It's been a super volatile day. I guess, well, last hour or so, we saw a huge spike in the equities and with a big sell-off. And now we're kind of creeping back to the upside. Got to keep an eye on all these this geopolitical risk or headlines coming out of the Middle East. How are you trading this? How are you navigating these markets, Austin?
Great question. Got my screen up there. Beautiful. So you see, I've got executions on. I had a trade this morning after the 30 a.m. CAD news came out. I caught a long there, made a couple $100, and then that was it for the day. I knew that going into today with Powell speaking this afternoon, we could have sideways markets. To me, this is a sideways market. The range is fairly large. It's about 40 something points today, top to bottom. So it's not a 20-point tight little range where we're just stuck. But
Right.
knowing that we had such a strong move down yesterday, seeing that we really weren't making new lows overnight, got me thinking, hey, with Powell in the market, no structure really coming in overnight. If we see profits, we'll take profits. We'll try to take and then be done before 1 o'clock, which was nice because you can see, I mean, this price action, I'm looking at a 15-minute. We could take it to like a 3 minute just to get a little more. I mean, it is disgusting. It's very tough to trade when Powell's talking like that. So tough to get a read. But you know what's really important, and I know you guys plug me all the time for it. Look at the low of day today. It set at basically midnight, 11:30 Eastern time, 10:30 Eastern time last night,
Yeah.
and it has not been able to sit below that low of day. But even if you remove that low of day zone and you just mark yesterday's low, and we take a little pin there, so we'll say it's about 50.94, something like that. We really haven't been able to stay under yesterday's low either, which is a sign to me that it's going to be a sideways day. We're not using structure to move higher, and we're also not using yesterday's low to move lower. So again, with those things happening, plus Powell, you do 2 and 2, you get 4. It's going to be a sideways market today, potentially. So the trade, to your question, to get us going here. It was on a mini contract. I'm trading an XFA here, so I'm up on this XFA now about $360, which is cool. So working my way towards that target of the 5 days with $200. I had an XFA. I have two other XFAs. I lost one of them just on draw trading this too heavy in the beginning, but I also struggled to trade the micros. So I've kind of found a sweet spot trading one mini contract and just trying to be really aggressive with that on the upside and on the downside. So I like my trades to be is maybe what I'm saying, as we are not seeing the same type of accelerated upward movement on the markets that we have seen over the last couple of months. I mean, if you look at the move, and we could talk about this in a second, but look at the move on the indices for the start of the year. I mean, it's not like this most years for the first 3 months. So it's very important to pay attention when these conditions change. You've got to adapt. You've got to say, okay, maybe we're not going to be running these trades as longer. Maybe it is, as you guys say, I took it from you, the see profits, take profits, that kind of a market.
Mhm.
So this morning, my trade was we had an anchored VWAP on the high of day. You can see my long execution comes in at 8:33 this morning. It's just 3 minutes after the CAD news came out. We're above the daily VWAP here, as you can see, before the trade, and really holding above it pretty nicely this morning. I mean, we had a little bit of time around 6 a.m. below it, but in my head, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking we could have some buyers step in and take control here. And when they broke that high VWAP here on that CAD news, that was like the momentum to me to say, okay, I think we're going to pop towards high of day and let's see if we can get something there. And you can see full exit there on the one contract. So in at 8:33, 8:39, made a couple $100 and called it a day. So very happy with that. I think this is exactly what we're saying, right? See profits, take profits. You would have some traders marry this and think it's going to rip all day. I know that that's probably not going to happen most days. It happens sometimes, just not most days. So I take what I can get, do it again.
I do like that. Thanks to you for that update. So since you were on last, Austin Silver, new strategy is
Yeah.
really being employed heavily here at Topstep TV. Last time you were on with us, you talked to us, you will not take a short unless we get beneath the previous session, the low of the day from the previous session. John, I know he's used that today. John, tell us about that trade. We learned something when we
Actually,
had Austin Silver on last time.
I don't think it was today. It was a day
Was it
last
yesterday?
week when I think it was last week or the week before. We took a nice trade off that. We broke the overnight the low of the previous session low. We got in short and we had a pretty decent trade off that. So
Nice. I'm glad to hear it.
that was nice. Today I got, aggressive. I got chopped up early in the session. I stopped myself from continuing because I want to have an opportunity take a trade here in Power Hour, and I was just looking at a short, and the S&Ps was well above value. We couldn't hold above the overnight high, which was something that I was able to take advantage of in a trading combine earlier today. But still looking just really to focus on the extremes for opportunities here. The I think maybe I did take a trade. I think it was one of the winners that I had this morning off the overnight low, but I don't think I took the I don't think I took the profit soon enough, so it came back and probably stopped me out because I was looking for something bigger. But I mean, we still had to Austin. We had the agreement, and Rips was saying it too, that we're probably not going to be seeing a lot of range extensions. I was kind of biased this morning, looking for an opportunity to see an acceleration to the downside. It just didn't happen.
Yeah, I think the conditions are changing. I would agree
Mm-hmm.
100%. What does that
Mm-hmm.
look like? That's going to be up to everybody's interpretation of what you think is going to happen. Look at today. This is probably the first time, at least that I've seen, where Powell actually says the words higher for longer. So who
Mm-hmm.
knows? I mean, we haven't even looked. I probably out right now. I'm seeing CME Fed Watch tool has already changed the projection after his speech today about the rate. So it looks to stay longer. And does that mean that the industry bullish go side? And if that's the case, you are going to, like you said, see the market change for sure. I really would like reiterate what you said about trading from extremes. I mean, if you look at it today, the high set at 7:45 this morning, that's at 51.19, 51, call it 20, hasn't been broken yet. Here this
Right.
afternoon, and the low set overnight still hasn't been broken. So those have been the two best places to trade from today. And I guess
Mm-hmm.
in hindsight, of course, it's easy to say, but to my point, what I mentioned on the opening there, if you just look at yesterday's low and see that we haven't been able to really leave that, does even make you think more range trading today, trade from the extremes, find the bottom, buy the bottom, sell the top. Don't try to
Right.
forecast when this thing is going to break out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if we
See
get
what this
another
does.
opportunity at one of these extremes, and I'll jump in. Last
There's
thing I
And
want
now
to do
they're
is
saying
start
on the
doing in the
Fed.
middle on a day like today.
been a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of that
for
too.
sure.
Hey, John, quick. I know why you're looking for a trade. Quick Delta update. Reading from you, please. Last we saw 28,000 about 50 minutes ago or so. This was in the ES. We had plus 4,600 in the NQ. See if maybe we can get a quick update on that. It's, plus 28,000 is pretty
Yeah,
sizable.
30,000 positive in the S&Ps.
Okay.
5,700 positive in the Nasdaq, and just to throw the Dow in there, positive 1,400.
That's even pretty
So
heavy.
yeah, I mean it's pretty long, but if we were adding to it at the lows, I'd say okay, now maybe we'll finally get that breakout to the downside late in the session as the longs start to capitulate. But we're near the highs here, so it's still kind of indicating range bound activity.
I would agree.
You're up
So
near
yeah,
the
quick,
highs
quick
in the
look at the
Nasdaq.
tilt here. We are seeing long 80% in gold. That's the heaviest tilt we got right now. Everything else is around 50-50. Long 80% in gold. We did see gold crack 2,400. Well, we are above 2,400. Top out of 2414.80. That was a nice spike. But John, what do you make of that volatility we saw about an hour ago? And the huge spike, the
I
huge run up, and a huge reversal. I mean, that's
I thought
tough.
it was I thought it was beautiful because the extremes of the day were pretty much already in. And if you faded those extremes, you were able to limit your risk on it, and you were able to, see profit, take profit. I mean, if you're looking for the range to go from the high to the low to the low to the high to the high to the low, it did happen that way today, but it really just doesn't happen that way that often. But I mean, still, if you faded the extremes, anytime we got to one of the extremes, the high of the day, the high of the day, low of the day, high of overnight, low of overnight, you were really in a good situation. I added to some profits in a trading combine during that time, but I'm only trading this particular live account on screen, so got to find something to trim this loss a little bit today. So I'm
Okay.
watching for these extremes.
Excellent stuff. You
Mhm.
wanted me to say good stuff, but I said excellent stuff there because the Mountain Trader
And
said,
wow, and
yes, wow.
wow.
I'm always good for a wow as well. All right, Austin. So we heard Powell say, we heard him say some words that we don't typically say. So what's there's the graphic. I like that. Austin, thoughts on what Jerome Powell had to say earlier today?
I think it's not anything we didn't expect. Nothing has really changed. And everyone that's kind of paying attention to markets, inflation is not headed in the right direction. The funny thing with inflation is that to the average person, they don't understand that the CPI read and these other indicators, PCE price index, that is coming down or slowing down, that prices are easing. That's not how it works. That's the rate of change, that CPI number. They're studying the rate of change. They want to slow the rate of change. Well, whether it's 3, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, et cetera, to me, the bigger issue is still not being addressed, that everything is getting more expensive. It's just now the speed at which these things are going to get more expensive. And Powell is trying to control that. It's very difficult. It's so difficult. I would not want to be paid 200 grand or whatever he's paid to do his job, because it is probably so stressful and so difficult. He said he makes like 170 or something like that. I just think that that's insane. This guy has literally his hands on the control of the economy in a way, because look at how the market reacts right now when he comes in. Yeah, the globe. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So what I really finish see up on that April 1st high at 53.34. I think high of year, I'm not here to forecast. We've got some type of a level at 5,300. I think we have a shot of here at 50. I follow a couple of guys like Anthony Credelli and Pax on, and everybody's looking at this 5,100 level on ES. Do we hold or do we crack? Hold, because I'd love to see bullish momentum. However, 10 correct off here, that would take us back to 47.89, call it 47.90, and that's only a 10 correction. That takes us back to start of year, basically. It erases everything from the start of the year. So when you look at it like that, we could be there very quickly. You guys know how fast this thing can slide to the downside, but does Powell's speech and Powell's words from today really create that acceleration? I don't think so. I think if it is going to go there based on him talking, it's going to be a slow jog downwards. You know what I mean? A slow down to pullback price. So my take, I'm not super good at forecasting. It's not really what I do well. I like to what price. This game, all the pros, casting corrections and this and that. Yeah, the market we hold 100. Really,
Austin,
I think we're getting some. Yes, we're getting some mic issues out of you. Cutting in and out a little bit. On you.
Yeah.
Maybe get out of the platform, or even better, just go to the wheel at the bottom and click reconnect. Maybe that'll do it for us.
Reconnected. Check. Hello.
That sounds good here.
Sounds better now.
Yeah, that sounds a little better.
All right, cool. Let's get back into it.
Yeah.
So what Powell's saying, nothing completely unexpected. I would agree with that. Although he did say he is admitting that inflation is not coming down as quickly as they'd like. Like you said, the job's damn near impossible. Overall, probably doing a pretty good job considering you pumping $6 trillion into the economy and you got to reel that thing back. Yeah, it's definitely tricky. It's definitely a tricky spot.
I mean, imagine when you just think about how much money was printed in such a short amount of time. I just don't know if we've seen all the impact of that yet. Maybe, but I don't know. I just, that's a very tough question as well.
Do you remember NFTs and that whole thing? that was crazy. Quite a thing.
Crazy.
Quite a thing.
Yeah, and I think that's a sign of, that markets will, go through cycles. So are we changing cycles maybe right now? When you look even just at the daily chart right now on the indices, you can see it's different than it's been this year. So something is happening. Do we have to know what's happening to make money? That's maybe the question we should ask for the audience and for a trading stream. No, we just have to know how to make money based on what is happening, right? By reacting and adjusting our biases and not marrying a bias and not being egotistical and trying to make the market be right, just listening to the market, So that's the beautiful thing about trading is you don't have to know this stuff. All those guys that get paid to be analysts and just make guesses, they don't have skin in the game like we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we knew a lot of those guys on the trading floor. They always had some pretty good numbers, but they couldn't trade with them to save their lives.
That's how it always is. And then you get the traders that bust on them all the time that say, this guy's just picking random numbers. Tesla to this to that. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Love that price target. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But there were guys that made a living selling their numbers, selling their levels, and they were really good about that. They were really good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Speaking of Tesla, down 3% today. That's not too good. Nice gap down, and it's
Oh,
holding it nicely here. Yeah. Maybe it finds support here at 150. Maybe, but it's been a rough year for Tesla. I think they just announced they're laying off 14,000 employees too.
yeah.
Yep, not good.
That's not
I
good.
I
Not
did
good.
read that. That's tough, man.
It's tough.
Well, here in Power, so we're getting something ready here behind the scenes. We're going to bring you guys. We haven't done it in a minute, but we are starting to see a little bit of selling here in the S&Ps. Like you said, the big level, that number is magnetic 5100s. S&Ps, where we go from there, anyone's guess.
Yeah. So I didn't know
Gold
that
chilling out, crude
Fidelity
chilling.
and PAX were focusing on that 5100 level. 5103 is my weekly kickoff low. It's kind of it's amazing how traders come to the same levels by different ways.
Isn't that interesting? It is so amazing.
Yeah, it really is. It should make it easier, making it any easier, does it?
No, it definitely doesn't. I mean, the price action, I personally think since the last week of March has been really, really difficult. If you made easy money through the beginning of this year, these last 3 weeks, 4 weeks probably were like earth shattering to a new trader that did well the first couple of months
Gosh,
this year
yeah.
and then went through the last couple of weeks. I mean, even look at last week. I did a video on this for my YouTube channel. There was like 3 bursts over the course of the first 4 days of the week where there was the move. Everything else was just sideways. Very difficult to make money. It was a little bit of action on Tuesday, CPI Wednesday, a nice bounce on Thursday, and then not really anything for me on Friday. So like very short amounts of time where that move is actually happening. That's tough. Traders are very impatient. They're going to lose a lot of money during those periods. You know what I mean? They're just going to get chopped around.
Well, certainly. Well, right now, Power Hour is a little quiet, but as you know, likes to build into the fireworks as we approach the closing bell. Currently, like John said, we got a big positive delta, plus 30,000 in the ES, plus 5,700 in the NQ, plus 1,400 in the YM last we checked, but with nothing really popping right now. Hey, JD, I think we got to bring something in. We haven't done this in a minute. I know that people really liked it. Let's show them some trader wins, huh? What do you got?
How about it? Let's check out this
Here, guys?
first guy.
Check this out.
Trader Bait. Locked in $2,000 on the live account. Bought the bottom, sold the top.
Nice.
Reading right off there. According to Dolby,
Nice.
his name is in teal. That's the most prestigious Discord rank a trader can have.
Is that true?
Topstep Discord server.
In the live account. Bought basically the bottoms and sold the top. Man, keep that up there, and you'll be sitting pretty here for a little bit. But yes, well done.
Nice trade in
there?
teal.
Yeah,
All right, Svenja. Svenja was on our leaderboard the other day after a huge win. And it looks like Svenja ordered a where to go. There it is.
There it is. Look at that one.
Yesterday, $75,000 payout for Svenja.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Kidding me?
Yo, 75 G's. Okay.
Not bad at all.
Great.
Wow.
We do live stream payouts on our Discord too. So if you want to see payouts coming in, just hop over to our Discord channel and you'll see them in real time.
Now. Look at all those payouts requested. 1,600, 2,000, 2,000, 5,000, and then the whopping 75,000 for Svenja. Well done.
Unreal.
Are you kidding me?
That's awesome.
Wow, these are some
I
trader
love
wins,
seeing
right?
that.
Now we got a trade to share
from
a guy named Rwrd. RWRD.
All right.
Nice $1,350 profit target there.
Yes, it is.
Trade in the NQ, which resulted in
Yep, show them there it is.
Certified funded account. Way to go, Rwrd. Nice job getting funded today.
Yes, very well done. Yes, for those that don't know, you do get that you'll get that sweet certificate, kind of like a diploma, if you will, going up to becoming funded, going up to the big leagues. Man, shares. Keep sending those trader wins, please, too, by the way. We'll be sure to show them here on Power Hour. But it's really good to see all the success that we're seeing here at Topstep. Traders are trading. We've been looking for the best. We back the best, making real trades, real accounts, real P&Ls. No fake, no filler. It's really cool.
We've got
awesome
the
stuff.
best.
We got the
We
best.
got the best.
We got the best. Very good job. Thanks, JD. Yeah, we'll have some quiz results here in a little bit. For the time being, we are watching these markets kind of just consolidating, waiting for their next move. Wow,
Yeah. Maybe the
$75,000
next half
payout.
hour will provide something here. Just not getting to the
You guys
extremes
ever-
I'm looking for. I promised myself I would not get stuck in the middle here.
All right.
That's the best move. Definitely the best move. Why do you guys think sometimes Power Hour is popping and other times it's not?
That is a great
Good question.
I think it's slow. Well, yesterday was popping. Yeah, it's slow when there's big time news events coming out in the following morning or maybe earnings after. So everyone's just kind of waiting, digesting. Although we are seeing a pop here in crude, and if there's a big delta one way or another, we will see unwinding going into the close. But it is really anyone's guess. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously on FOMC days where we get the big stuff coming out at like 1:00 Central, it'll carry into 2:00, 3:00 as well. But yeah, I think it's anyone's guess. John, what are your thoughts?
It's
Well,
the
I mean, if we're
Goldman
waiting
interns,
for
somebody said in the live chat.
What did they say?
Goldman interns.
It's the
Oh,
Goldman
yeah.
interns.
Well, them too.
Goldman interns.
Them too, for
What were
sure.
you gonna say, John?
If we're waiting for anything, it's the beige book tomorrow. But the beige book is, that's going to be something that the Fed is going to be looking at for the next 2 weeks, and with all the other numbers coming out in the next 2 weeks, the beige book usually just means to me maybe a little bit of market activity, but it means 2 weeks to the next FOMC meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Dalton talking earlier this week, and he was talking about, he's not really depending much on any of the economic information before Wednesday, which is beige book. Then, misleading indicators on Thursday. Is that going to be much? We have nothing really on the docket on Friday as far as economic numbers are concerned.
We don't. We can start looking. Should start taking a look at the earnings calendars. Earnings season is about to ramp up. We had some big ones earlier this morning. United Health.
We just had a 1,500 contract bid at 51.13 even, and it traded out. It just traded out. 1,500 contracts with what got put in. I watched it trade out slowly but surely. It traded out.
Bid side or offer side, John? Bid or ask?
Bid side.
Bid side.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Nice catch.
On my side too, we're breaking a recent VWAP, so they could pick up some momentum here, maybe with some buyers stepping in for sure. So seeing the same thing you're seeing.
Nice catch.
Yeah, have it.
Real fast on the Fed watch calendar thing about rate hikes, rate cuts. 54% chance of no hike, no change at all in July now. So now highest percentage for an ease is not until September, and it's only 71%. So 154 days until that meeting, until potentially an ease. We are now locked in basically for the next 3 meetings, no change. The funny thing is they are saying 0% chance of a hike when JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon said he sees us hiking actually. So we're not even considering that. That would throw the market for a curveball if they raise rates. Could you imagine?
Michael Patak called for a rate hike. By the end of the year.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
As well.
All right, I'm gonna
he did.
ask
I mean, he's saying it a little bit in jest. Oh, funny you mentioned that, Austin. When will you be speaking with him?
I was going to say I'm doing the podcast with him tomorrow, and that'll be out probably like the second week of May. So I'll see if I can get him to make some ballsy predictions on the podcast. That'll be good to have him come out. And I was hoping that you guys could maybe feed me with a couple of good questions or the live chat. Anybody that knows MP and wants to ask him a question, let me know. Put it in the live chat, and we'll see if there's anything worthy of me spitting it in the podcast. But it'll be good because I know he doesn't sit down and do these too often. He's a busy guy skiing in Colorado and doing all that fun stuff we want to be doing. So it's good that I got to get him for a few minutes tomorrow.
That's gonna be very interesting. Be sure to remind everyone to tune in for that. If you guys got any questions you want Austin to ask Mr. Patak, please just throw those in the chat casually. You can pick and choose from some of those, but yeah, they'll be jumping on. Have you done any recent podcasts with anyone else we might know there, Austin?
I was just going to say, yeah, Rips, that'll be out first weekend of May. That one's really, really good. He's a great guy. Everybody knows Rips, and he's just such a good communicator. So me and him together, I feel like it's just good energy and kind of cut from same entrepreneurial background. So it was very easy for us to talk. We have him, Justin Werlin. I'm trying to get him to sit down. So I think that one, some of your guests, some of your viewers might know as well. But the name of the podcast is The Day Trading Show, everybody. And we're doing I think the most important one for a lot of you guys is actually next week. It's with Chris Cady, and a lot of people don't know Chris Cady, but he's been trading futures since 1980, since futures basically started. So to learn from someone like him is extremely awesome. Why are you
Oh,
laughing,
yeah,
John?
he's
Because you
beat.
know futures started in like 1850. Is that what you're going to tell me, John? The year that that you graduated
1848.
high school?
I
1848.
remember
Yep,
that day.
85.
1848.
Yep, 80.
Modern.
John was one of the 85 merchants that started the CBOT, right, John?
That's right. No, he's got me beat. I just got my first job on the trading floor in February of 1983, and it was
So he's
about
probably right around you, John. Yeah,
1990. I think was when I got my first membership and started trading.
nice. It's super cool to be able to chat with guys that were first on the floor
Big
and
time.
then see how they've adapted, like yourself, John. Like you guys have seen all of the technological changes, all of
Oh
the markets
man,
have shifted. It's been unbelievable, I'm sure. You know what I mean? And we're going to live through it.
it's
We're going to see
been
like AI and how AI changes
yeah,
markets. You know what I mean? But that'll be my generation's
yeah.
version of it. So it'll be cool.
I'll be retired by then. I hope.
Hopefully, yep. What do you think on the upside on ES? You think we go to high a day, 51.20, 51.23? Think we get 7 to
Yeah,
10
I
points in
mean,
this?
the last time I was up, we were up here. I was thinking about shorting it, but with that big bid coming in, and we're seeing some liquidity above
Yep.
on
Yeah,
the
we are.
belt.
Yes, we
So
are.
if I'm going to be
Wow.
looking for shorts, I'm going to really have to be choosy as far as trade location is concerned.
Yep. It's funny, VIX is down 6% today, so you'd think the indices would just be ripping to the upside, but they're not. They're
They're
stuck.
not.
So maybe that's a little tell of where we're headed here
I was
this
gonna
afternoon.
say.
Maybe. Yeah.
I just noticed
Oh.
that VIX is down 6%. Huh?
hmm After
Oh,
last week,
well.
one of the biggest days in the last 2 years last week on Friday, I believe. That Friday
Mm-hmm.
move was massive. Yeah, Friday. Even yesterday, big day.
Yes, it was. All right. Well, we're approaching to the bottom of the hour here. About 30 minutes left in this session. And before we get really popping here, JD, let's get the quiz results out. People do ask in the chat. And inevitably, about 3 or 4 minutes after we do post the results, people will still be asking, "Did you post the results?" So let's post the results.
Here we are.
Just scroll back.
This is us. This is us posting the results. Everybody, pay
We are posting
attention.
the results.
Results are posted.
There we go.
Jack the Goat leading the charge.
Jack the Goat.
Andre is cloned. He's back.
Yes, fact. I am cloned.
Dude,
Austin, I
these
think
names
I'm
are so
cloned, man.
funny.
Brutal. They're brutal around here.
Dolby Dung. Dude, that is so funny. Eat a tick.
Eat a tick. Yep. All right, so check your inboxes tomorrow for that reset, for those resets, for those that well on the quiz today. Thank you.
We see
we
Woozy
go.
Woo up there quite a bit.
Woozy Woo's been definitely making the name for themselves.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Unposting.
Thank you, JD.
Unposting results.
Unposting results. Results have been
Unposting the
posted.
results.
Unposted. Results unposted.
In about 5 minutes here, someone will innocently ask, "Did you post the results?" But the answer is yes.
Okay,
Bring
so
back
we got
the
the next
fire.
30-minute bar opening up here in
Okay.
15 seconds.
Eddie,
Are you in a position?
you know what we're looking for, Eddie. Yep.
I got you.
Thank you.
Austin, are you in a position right now?
I'm not. I said that I wasn't going to trade anymore today since I'm up and I hit my $200 target. But if I was long, I'd like to be long at 51.12. Probably put a 10-point stop in there. I wouldn't want to sit in this through a pullback to the daily VWAP. With 30 minutes left in the market, it could even go back to the low of the day because we know we're in a range. If we were out of a range and we were not sideways today, John, I would definitely be trading with it. But I'm trying to get,
I'm sure.
I want to share, I knew I was coming on and I do want to try to share good habits and be a good influence on the stream. I don't want to be a bad influence,
Sure,
you know
of
what I
course.
mean, and corrupt your traders.
That's number
So
one,
if
right?
I'm up and I hit my daily target, right. If I'm up and I hit my daily target, I want to get that payout. I want that first, payout. So you got to get your 5 days of $200. I'm up 270 something today. Good. Done. On a day where Powell's in, let's see if we can do another $500-600 tomorrow. Get another good day on Thursday or Friday. Call it a week.
I like it.
I'm a little bit more conservative, I think, than some people too. You know what I mean? I'm not the kind of guy that's like, I need to make $3,000 a day. I take what I can get. You know what I mean? I'm very busy with other stuff too, so I try to balance that. I wish I wasn't as busy some days, and I wish I could plug at it, but
It's generally how I am too. I'm just trying to take a little bit every day. But I'm short now at 51.12. Just one contract.
Nice. Nice.
If we get into
I
those
like that.
single
It's coming back
TPOs,
into
I get
that
out.
VWAP. Yep.
Yeah, let's go to VWAP, huh? What do you say?
I'd be
Got
fine
VWAP
with
at
that.
absolutely. Got VWAP at 50.99. Call it 5100. And
Take the 10 points.
hell
Happy
yeah,
days. Happy days.
hell yeah. Starting to see a
No,
bit of a
I'm
sell off here in gold. Pulled down about $3 in the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Dow taking a dip.
just trying to trim these losses a little bit here today. So I'm not, I'm not thinking I'm going to get it all back, but here we are. We got to do something, right?
That's what we do. If we're gonna force these markets lower, Johnny, that's what we're gonna do right now.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, gold down. Gold
Everybody
down about
sell.
$4. Gold's been
Everybody get out
super
and push.
volatile. Very amazing market to watch. All right, Johnny. John's short in the S&Ps from 12. See if we can get some follow through the downside.
Yeah,
You guys ever talk about
13
Bitcoin?
is where
We talk about Bitcoin in what sense? In what sense, Austin?
Just the fundamentals of it. I mean, I'm kicking myself. I wanted to sell some of my Bitcoin last week when we were at 70. You just get a feeling. I know, John, you know what I'm saying, dude. You're at this high. You've been at this high before. You're like, I know this isn't going to just break out here, and I probably should take some off. But everybody is like, no, you don't want to sell your Bitcoin. So then I don't. And then I'm like, God damn it. Now it's down at 62, and I could have sold some.
man.
You know what I mean? Just so kicking the dick a little bit on that one. But I think
friends like that.
If you guys, yeah, I know, right? There you go. There's a little movement.
I have nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's I've always been distrustful of technology, and to me that's a technology thing, and I've never been able to trust it. And I've missed a lot of good opportunities. I could have bought Apple stock. I could have bought Microsoft stock.
I think Bitcoin is simply just another product to trade. It's treated as if another index or indice. It's definitely here to stay. In terms of being actual currency used to pay for stuff, I think it's way too volatile. It's not stable enough. But in terms of just trading it, you want to day trade it. I get it. I don't fully understand the fundamentals, what influences it, or what.
John,
back to point of control here.
Come on, John.
This is a nice little trade. I'm out of that.
I agree with you,
that's
Andre.
350.
Nice.
Trim some of the losses there, and we'll see if we find another opportunity.
Andre, I saw a tweet today that was trying to prove how the government created Bitcoin. So that made me want to sell it even more.
Government created Bitcoin, eh? Interesting. Because I believe Bitcoin
somebody on Twitter saying how Bitcoin was mined at an NSA data center in Arizona, dude. I don't know. Twitter's crazy, bro. You got to be careful.
Man, yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Come on, John. There we go.
So yeah, John, how's is Delta unwinding? Here we go. Are you? Nice cover.
Wow.
Good job. Beautiful.
Just taking a jab, just trying to nick down this loss from earlier today. Although this is looking pretty tasty. There's finally VWAP. So I don't know about you, Austin. When you have a profit target, do you usually put your exit a little bit short of it?
I honestly don't trade with take profit in because I'm closing it manually myself. And I normally am not seeing my trade all the way through to like in this trade, if we were short together, I would have done the same thing you did. I'm not married to get it to VWAP. I'm looking to trade to make money. So if I'm up or if in your case, if I'm covering to break even, I'm just looking to get out. I mean, I know some people will argue and I'd be happy to have a debate about trading P&L or not. But I think when you're trading XFA, you're trying to get payouts. You got to pay attention to P&L. Right. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So it's just my perspective.
All right, more sellers coming in here, guys. We are well beneath 5,100 in the S&P. Sellers in Dow, S&P's, Nasdaq, gold's selling off, the crude selling off, everything's selling off on my board right now. We will keep an eye on
opportunity for longer.
Who sat on the keyboard, Andre?
Someone hit the sell button, Austin. Someone pushed the sell button.
Somebody pushed it.
We got some.
And now we'll see. Do we bounce a little bit here on ES? Do we hold and try to bounce a little here at 93? Maybe, maybe not. That's a strong slide right there in 5 minutes. I mean, what's that? 20 points?
I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender.
Right to VWAP in the Nasdaq, broke beneath VWAP S&Ps, broke beneath VWAP in Dow as well. We're seeing a bit of a bounce here. We're going to tilt. Nothing really shown in tilt. 50-50 across the board. John, what did that do to Delta? That sell off there in the ES and Nasdaq?
It's still 27,000 positive. It hasn't moved.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're starting to feel the heat. Maybe they.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum.
More on gold here, Andre. More.
Yeah.
Well, we are seeing some price action here now.
Yeah, we are.
We're right in the middle. Can't diddle in the middle.
Right to 5100s.
Can't diddle in the middle.
All right, when we get those MOC imbalances, we'll be sure to pass those along. About 24 minutes left here in the session. We just saw a nice little move to the downside. Johnny took advantage of it, caught it very nicely. Nice out too, John.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I never cry about leaving money on the table. It wasn't mine to begin with.
You can't, right? If you do that, you're
Oh,
always going to be thinking like that's a negative perspective to take. You should just be grateful to be able
100%.
to make any money. That's all. But I feel, you
Yep.
know what I was thinking, John? You'll agree with this. I feel like people, because of what we talked about last time I was on, I remember people often are very greedy in trading, and they try to solve their greed through a multitude of re, of avenues. But I think one of them should just be to be more grateful, just more gratitude. Like you could be doing a million other jobs. You're lucky enough to be able to do this. Not only
Mm-hmm.
that, you're making
Mm-hmm.
money from with bro. I just think of all the physical labor. Always that comes to mind first. You know, you just got to be more grateful. I think, and that'll make you a little less greedy. Oh, nice. I caught that 20-point drop in 5 minutes. Great. I mean, like, can you imagine thinking, God,
Beautiful.
I wanted 25 points. It should have been 25. That's the opposite of what they
Right.
should be.
Right.
You know?
You're going to complain about that, right? Well, I mean,
Right.
you know, Austin, one of the things that I say to everybody every morning is stay humble, grateful, creative, and centered.
Love that.
Humble, grateful, creative, and centered. So, you know, if you stay centered, you're not too excited, you're not too upset. You stay humble. You realize that you're in the market's environment; it's not in yours. And if you're grateful, you'll take what you can, what the market gives, and be happy with it.
Damn.
And
I
when the
love
market
that.
gives a
Very
lot,
good.
it can be great.
Yep. But
Hey, John, where
unfortunately,
was
some
that?
people burn themselves out. They run out of that gunpowder before that opportunity. Sorry, good, Andre.
No, it was John. That massive bid, that 1300. What was the price on that? Was it 13s?
It was
Yes,
higher. Yeah, it was
51.13.
5113. Okay. Huh.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
When a
Noted.
bid comes in like that, like for some of the listeners, I'm sure they're thinking the same thing. A bid comes in at 5113. John, you think is that one person trading that big order, and do you think they're out at this point now with this type of a pullback?
Ooh, it's a great question. I mean, I doubt that it's more than one person was the majority of it. You know, that's just somebody that you had an execution they had to do, and they did it.
Yep.
And they left it in. I mean, that was a legitimate bid that got taken out. And you know, did they just bail out of it? I mean, if that was my 1300 lot bid, I certainly would have been out of it by now.
Right.
You know, I'm thinking that's more of an adjustment in inventory in a longer time frame, institutional account. I don't think that that's necessarily going to be a speculative account. And I know some pretty big speculators, but you know, if that was me, I would have been like, you know, why did I just do that? Why did I just do that?
When you guys show Topstep X, then that makes sense, John. When you guys show the Topstep X, you know how time
Mhm.
in sales, I think it says time in sales or tilt. One of them is just based on Topstep data, but is the DOM based on all market data? Is that pulling the data from the CME? So that's where you can make that
That's
distinction?
CME data. The dome is
Got it.
everybody in the world.
Is everybody.
Yes.
Got it.
The tilt
That's
is
what I
what you're
thought.
thinking about. That's just Topstep
Topstep data.
combines and XFAs. But the dome
Cool.
that's directly CME data.
Got it. Yeah, and Rips said it really well on my podcast. He uses the time and sales feature on Topstep X to really kind of feel the rhythm of the market, and then he's using the dome to pick his spots and really know when to get in. So I really like that
Yeah.
time and sales feature you guys have. I think a lot of people are loving that just as much as they're loving the lockout rule.
100%.
Yeah. I've got it
Yeah.
up on another screen here. So that's how I knew that
Yep.
that you know that 1300 lot bid
Saw
did
that thing
get
come
taken
in.
out. Yep.
Great
Especially
call
because you
out.
can
Yep.
filter it by size and you can see it at the 50 or the 100 and you can see the larger
Yep.
size. It's very cool.
Yes, sir. You got it. You got it. And Rips is big into Bookmap too, which I need to learn more about and to do that.
Me too. I had
It's-
I had no idea what Bookmap was until he brought it up.
mhm. Yeah, I've known about it for a while. I just, I haven't had the opportunity really to dive into it because it's one of those things. I mean, it's going to take thousands of hours to really get a master on it, like Rips does. And
Yep.
do I have thousands of hours at this point? I don't know, but anything that helps, I'm in with. Right?
Right. 100%.
Austin, they're asking what the name of the podcast is called. I think you threw it in the chat there. Why don't you say it again? What's the name of your podcast?
The Day Trading Show. Yep. On
Day
all
Trading Show.
platforms, on YouTube, on iTunes, Spotify, everything. The Day Trading Show. Can you believe nobody had that keyword? I was like, I can't believe I'm going to get this keyword. It's great.
Got it. Got it.
Yep.
Well done.
So how are my
I've had
friends?
Crudelli on. I've had Brian Shannon. I've had a couple of futures guys on. Some good guys.
How are my friends?
I try to avoid all the
Crudelli and
fake people.
Pax?
Oh, they're good. Pax did a Twitter space on Friday, just sharing stories from in the pit. It was so good. I love those stories.
Somebody
We're just
told me that
talking
was
about
going
guys.
on.
It was so good. It's still up on his Twitter if you can go listen to it. I love that stuff. I don't know why. I just do. Like I'm just a nerd about it, I guess. But it's cool.
I love it.
Some people are like looking for strategy. They're like, Pax, tell me how to trade. It's like, dude, relax. It's not like
Yeah.
like people just got to tone it back. But I think once you have been trading for a little bit, and you start to realize that strategy is not the make or break factor in long term profitability.
No.
It's psychology. It's you. It really
It's
is
here.
you. Then I think that right, and that's why I want to hear more about his stories and his experience. I could care less about the way that he trades. You know what I mean?
So
We got a quick poll up here. Do you use or have you used Bookmap? Nice poll up there. I use it now. I used to use it. Would like to use it. Not interested. Interesting. Do a little survey there.
Austin.
Yes.
Back in the day when I was before I was a member and I was working my way up on the trading floor, I was a deck holder in the lumber pit for Edmund Krasinski and then John Fisher. JD,
Nice.
John Doherty's dad, was a broker in the lumber pit back then. I've known JD's dad for years and
Wow.
years and years. So, I'm a deck holder and I'm good at it. I get noticed by somebody in the S&Ps. They hire me away. I go work in the S&Ps, work my way up there and end up a proprietary trader and the rest is history. But, John Fisher was my boss when I left the lumber pit. And I think maybe one or two deck holders after I left, Pax got that job with John Fisher as John Fisher's
That's
deck
so
holder,
funny.
right?
That's crazy. Small world. Yeah.
Very small world. Very small world.
It's a very small world of guys like you who have adapted to. Like that's what I give Pax a lot of credit for and Crudelli a lot of credit for. It's like not only like your career did not end in the pit. And I think for some people it probably did. There's probably a lot of people
For most.
that you
Oh,
knew
yeah.
from the
Oh, yeah.
yes,
For
exactly.
most.
So I think that's the actually like I just think survivability is the characteristic that
Funny,
traders
that's
like
what
yourself can brag on.
That's what I call myself, a future survivor, because there have
Real
been so
that's
many
really what it
iterations.
is.
For real.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
It really
100%.
is.
You know,
And you have those weeks, I'm
Crudelli, I
sure
think,
you still do,
started.
John, where like you got to fight it out, right? Like I had a week last week where
Yeah.
I had to. It's like a fight with the market, and then you have weeks where it just rains and it's beautiful, and everybody thinks
Mhm.
every week
Mhm.
is like through it enough. You got those weeks where you got to fight. So I commend guys like you for that. It's tough, man.
Crudelli, I think, was in the pit for a little bit, but he was one of the first guys to be working the arbitrage between the S&P bigs and the minis. So he had a guy in the
Yep.
pit. Crudelli was working the machine, right? He was working the computer.
Mhm.
And Max was in there for a long time, but he was in there. I think he was in the NASDAQ pit for long enough where people started peeling out of the pit because the opportunities were kind of dwindling and trying to learn to trade on screen. And I had the benefit of being in the pit long enough to where a lot of people that I knew, acquaintances, friends, and all that, they were moving away from the pit and trying to trade on screen, and they opened their accounts and they started trading big numbers on screen the way they thought they were going to be able to in the trading pit. And a lot of them had some substantial losses and said, I can't do this. I don't know how this is going to work. This sucks, whatever it is. And they quit. But, I had the benefit of hearing their stories directly from them saying, this screen trading is a it's a bitch, man. It is difficult. I just lost, how much money I spent 3-6 months trying to figure this out, and I can't do it. So I'm out of here. I can't do it. So by the time I left the pit, I already had in my mind how difficult that transition was going to be. And I didn't trade live for a year. I was on sim for a full year trying to figure out, and I was at that time still on the trading floor. So I'm not looking at the pit. I'm trying to see what I can see on these charts because I wouldn't be able to see, Goldman sell 2000, Morgan sell 2000, Merrill Lynch sell 2000, another clearing firm sell 2000, and they're not selling it to each other. They're selling it to the locals in the pit. And you can just watch the locals get longer and longer and longer and longer until they have to capitulate. And that's when you jump in and you say, okay, I know these guys are all going to turn sellers. They're going to move this thing lower. I'm selling a couple. And when it looks like it's over, I'll buy the last two from one of these guys that are stuck long. And you didn't have that ability anymore. You weren't going to be able to see that. And Delta is one of the tools that I kind of discovered at that time that where I would be able to kind of tell if the smaller speculator grade of traders were way too long or way too short at specific times. That's why we're always talking about the delta. And the delta is one of those tools that has helped us and helped me find those opportunities late in the session. But moreover, it's just been a long study of the market profiles, and I need to learn more about technical analysis. I thought I knew a lot, but there's always more to know.
Definitely always more to know. I love that. And
Hey,
that's
John, with that being said, sorry, pardon me. With that being said, you're just talking about Delta. I thought you were going to naturally just tell me what the Delta is, but I got to ask, we got 12 minutes left in this session. What is Delta?
28,000 positive. It's not moving.
What?
It's not moving. We're right in the middle of the range.
Clock is ticking.
28,000.
As you see here. Don't be sure to get on the Twitter or the X, whatever you want to call it, hashtag Power Hour. We are scraping the internet for submissions here. We'll be sure to show them on Power Hour as we're watching right now. You see the clock counting down, 11 minutes, 38 seconds left in this session. We've got one decent move, I would say. I think this has been pretty quiet for the time being, but you never know what could happen in the last 10 minutes of the trade. Pretty quiet out of the Middle East today as well. We did get a headline saying retaliation from Israel is imminent, so we'll keep an eye on that. Makes things difficult and tricky, but here at TopstepTV, we will keep you in tune with the headlines. Chop around those 5100s here, John. I don't know. 17,900 in the NASDAQ. Just going to kind of wait this up, maybe take a knee on it, see what happens here in the following session, but nothing really popping. It's not that one move to the downside.
Yep. I'm glad I got a piece of that because it looks like it's over.
Yep.
We do have MOCs coming up.
MOC should be coming, yes.
Yeah. Since when did these countries announce that they're attacking each other? You guys, what I'm saying? Like
that's the thing. That's the thing.
Isn't it weird? Hey man, you threw something to me. I'm throwing something back in 2 weeks. Get ready. And then it's like,
on this date, at this time, you ready?
Yep. Get ready.
Well, they started that in Desert Storm.
That you really slow. Is that what that is?
Yeah, they'd have it on the news. You'd be seeing it on the news.
It's crazy.
See, it seems like you're showing your opponent your hand. What are you gonna do next?
Literally. But it makes you wonder, like, especially because, on Twitter on Sunday, man, everybody was freaking out. War. Market's going to sell off.
Right.
What did the market do at the
open?
Nothing. We've gone sideways. Right. But yeah, exactly. So it's just funny. I just wonder sometimes, is it all for theater, to just try to move things around? I just don't, because the amateur guy's going to panic. People that have traded through multiple wars before, like you, John, this has happened many times. 9/11, we were attacked, all these things that happen. The market does not always just go down because it's a bad thing. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's what Kudelli says. The market needs a strong catalyst to push it lower. The market doesn't just go down.
Very strong. Yep.
Yes. True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Especially, a substantial move down. There's always some sort of impetus. We have technical pullbacks, but that's actually good for the rally. Right.
Exactly. Right. They're healthy.
So 9/11, I was on vacation. I was in Myrtle Beach with my family. Here it is.
Real quick here. Not getting it from Juice, but we're getting it from Shushwa, 850 million to the sell side. We will double check on that, but I have not yet got it. Back to you, John.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. So,
Real quick,
yeah,
guys, what is an MOC? Can you just update us real quick? MOC?
Yeah, Johnny.
Market on close, MOC. So there's orders that are left to be filled by the end of the day on the New York Stock Exchange. And that dollar sign is I mean, that's just basically money that needs to be allocated by the end of the day.
Got it. 150 million to the sell side.
Right. And it's not a lot until you get well over the billion mark.
Okay. But yeah, Myrtle Beach 9/11. I remember my mom took me to school for that. I was like kindergarten or first grade. I remember she came and got my dad was freaking out.
Yeah, you're my kid's age, dude. Oh my god, I'm getting freaking old.
I don't know.
Sorry,
I was
John,
thinking where I was. I was thinking where I was.
Oh my god.
29.
So, yeah, I guess
John. Not trying to age you.
Even
Makes me feel old
shit.
thinking about it. If it helps anything. Sorry, Andre.
No, you're good. You're good. Something to be, but yeah, right now, taking a look at the markets again. We got not a whole lot popping, but we do have about 7 minutes or so left in the trade. Again, hashtag Power Hour. Throw your submissions in there. We will post them here on Power Hour. But yes, hashtag Power Hour. You'd be surprised. No one's really using that. Just like Austin in his title of his podcast, no one took it yet. So we're going to take it and run with it. We'll go from there. Yeah, we got about 6 minutes left here in the trade. Austin's sitting on his hands. John took one nice trade to the downside there, trimming some losses. Well done, John. Jab, 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 as Michael would like to say.
Yep.
Yeah, gold kind of petering out, crude as well. Looking for something here, fellas. Not a whole lot popping. That's okay.
No. Yeah, unfortunately, it's the trader's worst nightmare. No movement, sideways. Got to go to dinner tonight. Don't have anything exciting to think about. Wake up tomorrow and hope for something better.
Well,
it's like that meme of like the guy just laying in bed the next day. You know, it's that Pablo Escobar meme, just like sitting in the backyard with nothing to do. That's
by himself
at the end of the day. Like, by himself.
Seriously.
Well, we go do something nice for ourselves tonight. We come back tomorrow, grateful to be here, and we'll see what the markets offer.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, who do you guys have on tomorrow? I think you have KV on. Is that correct? Tomorrow afternoon, I think.
It is a Wednesday.
Yes.
It is a Wednesday. We got Patience with KV, and then I believe we got Justin Werline.
Oh, nice.
Boy, for Power Hour.
Yeah.
I believe he's out in Europe right now, so we'll get the hours matched up there. But yeah, he's good. I think you'll like him on the podcast. Yeah, he knows his stuff. It's a really interesting story, and just lets it rip. I mean, he's pretty raw, and he doesn't hide it. It's pretty good stuff, unfiltered.
I like it. I really appreciate he's got he puts his track record out there. He shares a lot of his trades with you guys and on his social. So he's the kind of guy I like to sit with.
Big time. All right, coming up to the big last liquidity injection of the day. About 20 seconds here. So get ready. If you got a position on, things will get a little wonky here, but the previous 50 minutes, right, indication, 55 minutes. That'd be pretty.
Should we go pulled pork right now?
Dolby's taunting you there. Auntie's taunting you in the chat. Yes.
Oh my, his cat is destroying his house. Well, you can't even tell you what my 90-pound German Shepherd has done to my house.
Here we go. 55 just hit and nothing. All right, guys. Well, that was exhilarating Power Hour. No, I'm just kidding. We still have 5 minutes left here.
I was afraid of that.
Sometimes they Austin asked, sometimes some are more exciting than others. And that's just the fact of the matter. I think the open this morning wasn't that fantastic. Got some moves. We also had Powell speak. We got to wait. You got to wait. We do have earnings coming up later in the week. So there will be some market moving events coming up. But it's just one of those days. Shout out to Dakota, though. Put up big time numbers. 11 grand in this type of market.
How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Shout out to Dakota, bro. Killing it, man. Killing it.
Just a little tease. I will be joining Dakota tomorrow evening. Slow markets. Going to trade the house account. He's going to show me around the Nikkei. on some of the overnight markets. So I'll be joining him on slow markets tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. Central. We'll collab. This should be fun. Thanks for the invite, Dakota. Appreciate that.
Is that what you're going to be there with them
Yeah, a
tomorrow?
little downside on ES.
Tomorrow night. Yep, tomorrow night. Yep, starting to break through VWAP here. S&P's
trying
5098. What are you going to try there?
Me? No, I was just saying trying. It's trying to break it. Sorry.
Oh,
no,
try it. Let's try it. Yeah.
I was since you got me pulled up really fast. I was going to say, if you really look at the market today since 9:30 at market open, it hasn't been able to decide which side of VWAP it wants to play on. You know what I mean? So it is one of those days for the audience. Like, don't be ashamed, in my opinion, and you guys can disagree or agree with me, but I don't think you should be ashamed of being cash. I don't think you should be ashamed of being defensive on a day like this, where unless you're a really good range trader and you enjoy trading when Powell is potentially speaking, then you probably did okay today. But I mean, even on the top side of this VWAP today, when it was trying to make extension higher, it just quickly lower right before at rate of 130 when Powell came on. You know what I mean? So there was no follow through in any of the movement since market open. So if you're cash or flat or you're up a little bit like I am today, don't be ashamed about that. There's always going to be somebody that made more money. You got to take lessons from the day and try to just get better 1% every day. That would be my advice.
Very good advice.
Try not to compare myself to other traders. Just do a little better tomorrow than I did yesterday.
Exactly. And John, am I wrong? There's always going to be somebody that is a bigger trader. There's always
100%.
100%. So it's
always somebody tougher too.
Of course.
Later, Command. All right, guys. We're looking at here. Boy, about 2 minutes left in this session. We will start to see the ladder get a little bit fuller here. Bids and asks, as we typically do. Yeah, right now, just a bit of a snoozer.
It's going to take a short, too, if we were going to go full port.
A little lower now. That was strong, 2 minutes ago. Strong.
Keep in mind that strong delta.
Yeah. Still 22,000 right now.
Unbelievable. They got to start unwinding this.
So it is peeling off.
Yep. Okay. Starting to see some sellers.
I'm up almost 30K in my practice account.
Go figure, right?
Deal with it.
Go figure. All right. Sellers in the SPOOs, sellers in the Dow, sellers in the NAS. Crude selling off a bit as well. Pullman Park.
Yeah.
60 seconds. See if we see what happens. See if they do that 5,100 level in the ES, if anything.
Dude, 20,000 now. All those longs are bailing.
Yes, they are. Took 59 minutes, John. Took 58 minutes for it to finally happen.
Timing is everything, man.
Yeah, they wait till the very, very last second.
I know, right?
Started to see that unwind right now. That's why we watch Delta throughout the day, guys. For exactly this moment.
You think it flushes here? You think it could flush?
I don't know if it goes to zero, but they, like John said, they are starting to get a bail here. We're starting to see some volatility.
Yeah, I doubt we'll
15
extend
seconds.
the range.
Eddie, you got Bell.
Got Bell.
We're 18,000,
yep.
17,000, 17,000.
Boom.
And there's the trolley.
And it's the trolley. Everybody get on. Please make sure that here we go.
Everybody on? Good. Great. Grand. Wonderful.
Austin, great to hang with you.
Good stuff, Austin.
Yeah, John. Really good to see you. Man, thank you guys for having me. I always enjoy chopping it up.